Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
It may look calm outside, but there are still concerns.
Yeah, with the ground already saturated, could we see more flooding as we see more rounds of rain? And just today, firefighters coming across a lot of flooded areas, including right here at I-35 near Seguin Road. This is on the northeast side of town. Drivers had to stay clear of this area altogether.
The Comal River also impacted by today's rain. If you have plans to float the river, New Braunfels police announced the area is now closed temporarily. An update is expected tomorrow morning. Meteorologist Adam Caskey is tracking more rain in the forecast.
Yes, and nothing locally right now. It's all along the coastline, but you talked about those accumulations and some issues out there. You took a look at the rainfall over the past 24 hours, especially southern Bexar County and eastward. Look at some of these totals. This is mainly just from the rain today. 5.5 inches, southwestern Gonzales County. Cuero area, just over 4 inches. Wide swath here of 3+ inches. But what really stands out is southern Bexar County, where you see this red area and even these little purple spots. 5 to 6 inches of rain estimated by the Doppler radar there on the south side of town. Here's where the rain is right now. This is what we had all earlier today. The back edge of it moving out of Cuero, moving out of Goliad, moving out of Lavaca County. It's all along the coastline. There's also a little bit of activity near the border we'll take a close look at coming up in a bit. You see even the lightning is now offshore. More storms are in the forecast. I'm going to help time those out for you and let you know what to expect in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Adam. Right now, police need your help finding this missing man. 66-year-old Kenneth Harris was last seen at a Walmart on Desval Road yesterday. Officers say he went into the store to use the restroom, but was not seen again. Police say he was diagnosed with a medical condition and has a paralyzed right arm and is described as being bow-legged. If you know where he is, call the San Antonio Police Department's Missing Persons Unit. That number right there on your screen, 210-207-7660.
She's been charged with murdering her own 4-year-old daughter. And after years of court delays, the case of Jessica Briones is moving closer to trial. But while she was free on bond, Briones gave birth again. And now a tense legal battle is underway over who should get custody of the baby. A warning, what you are about to see may be disturbing to some viewers. Our Dylan Collier brings us tonight's Defenders Report.
September 2017, at the San Antonio Police Department's Prue substation, Jessica Briones walked in carrying her 4-year-old daughter, limp and near death. One day later, little Olivia passed away, and investigators noted a long list of signs of abuse. She was the weight of a 2-year-old, had multiple sites of bleeding on her head, severe swelling of the brain, and fractured vertebrae. Police also found a bowl on Olivia's bed, filled with vomit. The medical examiner said the child died of complications from a closed head injury and ruled her death a homicide. Eventually, prosecutors charged Briones with capital murder of a child. If convicted, it would mean life in prison without the possibility of parole.
I would offer her a ride home.
Enter Noemi Cadena, a co-worker of Briones' at a local restaurant, who says for a while she didn't even know Briones' last name, let alone that she was on bond for such a serious crime.
She's petite, she's very soft-spoken. It seems like she wouldn't do something like that.
So Cadena said she was surprised when Briones reached out to her last year. She was pregnant and needed Cadena's help,
asking if I would take this child.
Because her pending case meant that Child Protective Services would take custody of her baby, which they did minutes after Briones delivered a boy last July.
I was able to watch him be born. Not only that, I was able to help with his birth.
So Cadena jumped through the necessary hoops, qualified as a Texas foster parent, and was given temporary custody of the child, an experience she describes as one of the highlights of her life.
He calls me mama, something I didn't teach him, because I wasn't sure what was going to happen.
But Cadena's push to become the baby's permanent parent has hit a series of roadblocks recently, starting with a paternity test in December that confirmed who the baby's father is. With family unification being the state's preferred placement goal whenever a child is in their custody, Cadena figured to be the odd person out. CPS's own records in the case, however, gave Cadena hope, at least for a little while. The baby's child care plan stated that even after the DNA test, the department wasn't sure about visitation because the father was still in a relationship with Briones. In late January, the CPS caseworker acknowledged that Briones knew the father's appointment and class schedule, writing to Cadena via text message, "That's definitely a concern for me." One other glaring issue, according to some of the parties involved in the custody case, the father's admission during a court hearing last month that he doesn't think Briones is guilty of murdering her own child. The defenders viewed a recording of the virtual hearing and verified his response.
This man does not believe that she did what she did.
Despite this, the caseworker told the judge she is now in favor of unifying the child with his dad. But during a virtual court hearing, the appointed attorney for the child, former county court judge Monica Guerrero, after learning the father had continued to share pictures of the baby with Briones as recently as 2 weeks before the hearing, told the judge, quote, he doesn't believe that mom's capital murder charge is a valid charge. It is the highest charge that anyone can get in the state of Texas. Still sending photographs, and I'm concerned that there's communication and that once the department's not looking, he's going to have access with Jessica. One dead child, I think, is enough dead children for this family, and I just have some concerns. Guerrero concluded her comments during the hearing by requesting that the trial date be extended. Cadena worries this case could have a nightmare ending.
What they're doing to this little boy is they're fattening him up and sending him to the slaughterhouse. That's what it feels like.
For the defenders, Dylan Collier, KSAT 12 News.
Child Protective Services officials said confidentiality laws prevent them from discussing this case. Neither Briones or her criminal defense attorney returned requests for comments for this story. She's scheduled to be back in her capital murder case in June on the 24th of this month. Her parental rights for her baby could be terminated as soon as mid-July, when a children's court judge could rule to permanently unify the child with his father.
More employees leaving CPS Energy. The defenders confirmed 2 more executives left the utility's legal team. They are Zandra Pullis and Abigail Ottmers. This comes after those deadly February winter storms. We are following this developing story right now on our website, KSAT.com. Meantime, a deadly shooting case under review. It involves an armed man and 3 San Antonio police officers. Police responding to a disturbance outside a Family Dollar on Castroville Road near Southwest 35th Street around midnight. Police Chief William McManus says the 3 officers who came across the man tried to talk to him first before they say the man pulled out a knife.
He continued to advance, and at some point thereafter they fired.
Police say the man ignored commands to put the knife down. The 3 officers involved are on administrative duty. It's a routine procedure as the case is being reviewed. An identity for the suspects and the officer have not been released.
A Nightbeat update now on the pandemic here in Bexar County. Numbers continue to drop when it comes to COVID-19 cases. Metro Health says as more vaccinations happen, cases will continue to drop. Our 7-day average now stands at 106 COVID-19 cases per day. 4 new deaths also reported today. In our hospitals, 140 COVID-19 patients hospitalized, 42 in the intensive care unit, 23 are on ventilators. And when it comes to our positivity rate, that percentage has stayed below 3% for another week and now stands below 2% at 1.3. So does this mean the pandemic is over? Dr. Colleen Bridger with Metro Health provided this answer.
Unfortunately, the pandemic is not over. We have come a long way, and I think we're out of the crisis aspect of the pandemic. But COVID-19 is still in our community, so the work continues.
The focus now is set on getting people vaccinated. The goal is to get 70% of the county vaccinated. Right now, about 50% of the county is fully vaccinated. About 64% have 1 dose of vaccine. The city plans to update these numbers every Wednesday on the city's COVID-19 website. And we know a lot of you may still have questions about the vaccines. Our KSAT Community Phone Bank will hopefully help you get answers to those questions tomorrow. Dr. Jason Bowling, Director of Hospital Epidemiology from University Health, will be addressing your concerns and answering any questions in tomorrow's KSAT Q&A. That phone bank is tomorrow from 5 until 7 p.m. We're going to be providing the number to call tomorrow. You can find more information on KSAT.com.
Customers and employees at a local barber shop rushed outside the building after smoke began creeping inside. Arson investigators are looking into what caused the fire at a shopping center on the southeast side, where the roof collapsed this afternoon. The night team's Tiffany Huertas has the terrifying moments that unfolded inside the building.
I was cleaning off my station, just got done with a cut, and I noticed there was smoke in the shop.
Brandon DeAnda was working at Supreme KUTZ Barber Shop at the corner of Steve's and New Braunfels Avenue when he noticed smoke coming inside the building.
It was just so much smoke that it was all white smoke and it went down to black smoke.
DeAnda says what happened next was panic.
Of course, we got all the clients, and there was a couple kids in there, so we got them out first.
When San Antonio firefighters arrived to the scene this afternoon, they found heavy fire.
Our big challenges were the heavy fire involvement when we got here, which caused a roof collapse, as you can see on this part of the building.
Chief Hood says no firefighters or others were injured in the fire.
I'm just glad everybody's okay.
Just check out how the fire destroyed the building. You can see glass shattered all over the ground. Chief Hood says there is also extensive damage to this convenience store. He says it's still not clear how badly the fire damaged the attics of these shops, but says the stores will not be open for a while. Reporting from the southeast side, Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Tiffany. Still ahead on the Nightbeat, San Antonio experienced some downpours today. The rain creating some flooding for some homes. Meteorologist Adam Caskey tracking what to expect for the weekend coming up.
And a stolen car holds more than just a dollar amount. The history it holds for one Floresville couple and how police hope to get it back. Next on the Nightbeat. It is considered a true hot rod. Neighbors say it has the growl to go along with it. An antique car stolen right out of a Floresville woman's driveway.
Our night team's Jonathan Cotto spoke with Floresville police who are investigating the case. They tell us the value of this car goes beyond any price tag.
It's a car that was manufactured in 1935. This metallic mocha chocolate antique Chevrolet sedan stolen right from the owner's driveway on May 27th.
It's a very unique type of vehicle that if you saw it, you would be able to recognize it very quickly.
Ortiz says this is the first antique vehicle stolen in Floresville.
We usually in small towns have people that are a little bit older that have these traditional antique vehicles in their garages, in their driveway.
The owner says it was the first car her and her husband bought together. She told police they've put a lot of money into the car, but the value is more sentimental than monetary.
She's devastated. I mean, it's a vehicle that they've worked on. Her grandchildren are devastated because when they were little, they could remember of her and her husband restoring the vehicle. So the family's devastated on the loss of that vehicle.
I did have the opportunity to speak with the owner of the stolen vehicle, but she preferred to not appear on camera. Both her family and the Floresville Police Department posted the car on their social media. It was last seen headed to Pleasanton. If you've seen the car, you can contact the Floresville PD at 830-393-4055. Reporting live, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. That should be an easy car to spot.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Meantime, let's take a live look outside with live cam. 68 degrees out there. Some nice temperatures for sure. And everything calm right now.
Yeah, and take a look at the scene earlier today. This is along Old Pleasanton Road, south of Loop 1604. Near Duke Road.
Yeah, a KSAT viewer filming flooding along the roadway. Meteorologist Adam Caskey tracking more chances of rain in the forecast. Adam?
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think we're going to see more scenes like that in the days ahead. Now, earlier when you mentioned the cool temperatures, Isis, I giggled a little bit because that's your kind of weather.
Yes.
It felt
I'm
like
wearing
a fall day.
I'm wearing a turtleneck in June.
Crazy.
Yes.
It really
Amazing.
felt like a fall day. We had a high temperature of 76 degrees. The average is 91 already. Okay, let's get to the rain and jump into the forecast here. You see the back edge of the showers. They're moving just out of our viewing area, starting to creep eastward at this time. And that activity is going to continue to push offshore. We also have some showers that we're watching right across the border now, just west of Del Rio and Quemado. And I do think those have the likelihood of crossing over the Rio Grande and then dissipating as they do so. So I don't anticipate them to really make it that far eastward once they cross over the river there. But I wouldn't surprise me if they give a little soak in quick half-inch there along the river. All right, let's talk about, picture didn't turn out. Of course, that happened again. I was trying to skip past it, but there we go. Let's talk about our, I thought, oh, hey, maybe I could quickly click past it. No, I couldn't. Of course not. Never works that way. But I've got some good news here. Totally redeeming myself. How about that? Look at the drought monitor 5 weeks ago. Look at that red. We don't like the red. We don't like the dark red either. That's the extreme and exceptional drought. Here we go. Boom. It's like we took a big pink eraser and just rubbed it all over South Texas and just got rid of all those colors. We just completely erased the drought across our area. Yes, a little bit left closer to Cotulla and right along the Rio Grande, but I do think we'll further eliminate that as well. It's West Texas where we really need the shower activity, and especially into the Four Corners states. And we got a little bit of action in West Texas again today. It's nice to see that out there, but most of it was here. You look at the past 12 hours and you see that complex moving into San Antonio late morning through the afternoon, pushing eastward, and now a little bit of development on the border. It's an active weather pattern, so we have to keep at least a slight chance of showers in the forecast, even locally, through the night tonight, but I think it's going to be very limited and then start to become more numerous through the day tomorrow. This upper level swirl, this dip in the upper level flow, upper level disturbance, that is going to remain overhead for the next couple of days. So it's more of the same in terms of periods of rain, heavy at times, but it'll be flanked by a little bit of sunshine. Thing is, the rain chances are pretty high there, 60%. And then we get into Sunday, it drops down to 40 along with Monday. Then as we get into next week, those rain chances slowly drop a little bit. Just over an inch measured at the airport today. There's that high, 76 degrees. That's all it was. Average is 91 and the record is 100 today. 68 right now, dew point is 64. 71 at Stinson, that's the outlier. Canyon Lake 67, Rio Medina 66, Bernier 63. We had some sunshine out west, so Del Rio still at 77, but only 70 in Laredo and Carrizo Springs. So tomorrow morning, mid 60s. Then I think only upper 70s for the high temperature in the afternoon. A few showers around the drive time in the morning, then becoming more numerous in nature and the coverage being a little more widespread, especially during peak daytime heating. So when the sun's really out there and warming us up, we'll start to see more of those storms blossom. Off and on again as we get into Saturday. Heavy at times, so flash flooding is really our primary concern. The severe weather threat is very slim. It's flash flooding that's our concern, so we're going to stay on top of it for you.
All right. Thank you so much, Adam.
He was once the king of college football.
No question about it, but he was investigated by the NCAA when there were folks out there who said he was making money by signing sports memorabilia after his freshman season. When we come back, now Johnny Manziel is admitting that. Just how much money did he make, and what could be the outcome? And the future of Leighton Vander Esch in Dallas, is he motivated? Coming up. Aggie quarterback Johnny Manziel now admits he did make money signing autographs while at Texas A&M, but insists he never took $1 until after he won the Heisman Trophy in 2012. His admission comes during an interview with Barstool Sports when he said that he made somewhat of a decent living selling his autograph in 2 different transactions that earned him $33,000. He did admit that he did it under the cloak of secrecy because he did not want to get caught. He says he may or may not have signed 10,000 pieces in a guy's condo, and for that he was given $3,000. But another individual approached him and said he was being ripped off and then offered to connect Johnny Football with someone else who paid him $30,000. In the interview, he dared the NCAA to take his 9-4 season and the Aggies' Chick-fil-A Bowl victory away. The NCAA did investigate Manziel before his sophomore season at Texas A&M, but said there was no evidence that the former Aggie quarterback received payments for his autograph, which is a major violation.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Leighton Vander Esch could be suiting up in his last season for the Dallas Cowboys. That's after the Cowboys declined to pick up his 5th-year option that would have taken him through 2022 season after missing 13 games over the last 2 seasons due to injuries, playing in all 16 games his rookie season. And then the Cowboys used the draft to pick 2 linebackers in the first 4 rounds, Micah Parsons with their first pick and Jabril Cox in the 4th round. Does that serve as motivation for Leighton this coming season?
I've always been motivated. I didn't have to use that to be motivated to play better or to work harder. I've been on a mission since the season was over, because we just can't have a season like we did last season, and this is coming this year. So, like I said, I'm just controlling what I can control. The rest take care of itself.
Dallas Cowboys open their second round of organized team activities today, with head coach Mike McCarthy revealing they've been working out running back Tony Pollard at wide receiver. Now, before you take this too far, the Cowboys have the opportunity to do that during the offseason with some of their wide receivers dinged up. And once the season begins, remember, Dallas has 3 star wide receivers and Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup. But it does give the Cowboys a little insurance in case the injury bug does bite during the regular season.
I mean, he looks very natural. I mean, Tony's an exceptional athlete. Looks very comfortable in the space alignments and assignments that we ask him to do. Just trying to really expand everybody's understanding conceptually in the offense.
McCarthy also added today that he believes Randy Gregory can be a premier player for the Cowboys on defense this coming season. With all the drama surrounding Deshaun Watson following his demands for a trade and the filing of 22 lawsuits accusing the star quarterback of sexual assault and misconduct during massages, Tyrod Taylor could very well be the Texans' starting quarterback this season, especially since Watson has refused to report to the Texans during their offseason. Taylor was set to start for the Chargers last season until a doctor mistakenly punctured his lung during a pregame injection in September, and rookie Justin Herbert stepped right in, and the team never looked back. Does that serve as extra motivation now for the 31-year-old this season?
For sure, I'll definitely use it as motivation. And it's nothing, there's no bad feeling towards, like, whatever happened in the past, you learn from it, you move forward. I don't believe in holding on to things. I just, like I said, more so thankful and grateful for the opportunity to be able to lace the cleats up, put the helmet on, and go out and make plays. And it starts, of course, this time of year, and then we'll carry on to the season. But yes, definitely more motivated than I ever been.
All right, are the Smithson Valley Rangers headed to state next? All right, Game 5 in Portland, the first round series between the Denver Nuggets and the Blazers. Portland head coach Terry Stotts can't believe what he is seeing. The Blazers had a 14-point lead with 6.5 to play in the third, only to watch Denver go on a 40-15 run, capped off by this 3 by Austin Rivers. Nikola Jokic, another huge game, 36 points, 8 boards, 6 assists. Denver takes Game 5 in the series, 126-115. Ranger fans pack the stands at Cabinets Field in Corpus Christi this afternoon to watch Smithson Valley take on Los Fresnos Falcons in a winner-take-all regional final game. Rangers taking control early, bottom of the first. Rangers on third and second. Ethan Gonzalez has a line drive to right field that will easily score Tim Arguello. It's going to be close for Garrett Brooks as he slides to beat the tag and is safe. 2-0 Smithson Valley. Same score, bottom of the sixth. Now up for bat is Los Fresnos, is Victor Loa. He hits a hot one to second. It's too hard to handle as it beats the throw to first. The bases are full for Falcons with 1 out. Then the skies open up, causing a weather delay. The game has been postponed until tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. in Corpus Christi, weather permitting. Fighting Texas Aggies released pictures and videos of their Orange Bowl ring after beating North Carolina 41-27 to cap off their 9-1 season, finishing 4th overall in the country, the best season yet for head coach Jimbo Fisher. In fact, the first appearance in the Orange Bowl for Texas A&M since 1944. This happens to be Fisher's ring, complete with the final score inside of it. Not too shabby. I always wonder how you carry those things around because they're so huge. I mean, you can't wear them for that long, right?
You just got to put them up on a shelf, don't you think?
Well, or in a safety deposit box.
Yeah. You and I will never know, Greg.
We will not know. No.
Greg, we'll be right back.
So this trend of pockets of rain, heavy at times, flanked by a little bit of sunshine, is going to continue tomorrow all the way through the upcoming weekend. You'll have some opportunities to get outside in between those showers and storms, but flash flooding is really our primary concern. Hail and wind threat really, really, really low. This is mainly just that heavy rain on top of the saturated soil. But hey, it keeps us relatively cool if you don't like the heat. We're looking at upper 70s tomorrow, near 80 on Saturday, and a little bit warmer Sunday.
Amazing temperatures right now.
Yes.
That's it for the Nightbeat GMSA at 4:30.
Good night.